What's up? Welcome in to Chicago Bears Now. I am Harrison Graham. We are live on the Call-In app. We're also posting this on YouTube. On today's show, I'm going to rank the Chicago Bears 2022 rookies. I'm going to look at the 11 draft picks, rank them from 11 all the way to 1. Then we'll have a few honorable mentions as well, a couple of UDFAs to keep in mind as we get closer and closer to training camp. I want to keep an eye on these rookies as we get closer to their first training camp, which begins on July 26th. All right, we'll start things off with Doug Kramer, the center out of Illinois, at number 11 here. And this ranking is really based on what impact I think they'll have this year. And the reality is I don't think Doug Kramer or our number 10 player here, Ja'Tyre Carter, will play as rookies. I've got Kramer at 11, Carter here at number 10. The reason I have them ranked like that is I just don't think they're going to see the field in 2022. I think they'll make the roster. I think they'll be backups. But if either of these guys play this year, that means one of two things. One, they have shown in a lot in terms of being capable of starting as rookies. I don't see that right now out of these two guys. Or two, a lot of injuries have taken place, or the Bears are desperate to try different players. You hope that's not the case because you want to keep Justin Fields upright. So I've got Kramer at 11 and then Ja'Tyre Carter at number 10. Number 9, Elijah Hicks, the safety out of Cal, who has missed most of the offseason program because he was recovering from an injury. Again, this list is based on impact I think they'll have this year. And, you know, I think Hicks is on the roster bubble. He may not make the 53-man roster. I hope he does. I'd like to see him make it and, you know, maybe contribute on special teams. But you think about the safety position. You got Eddie Jackson, who's going to start, Jaquan Brisker, DeAndre Houston-Carson, a vet that the Bears trust, Dane Cruikshank, who the Bears signed. Maybe they would cut him and keep Hicks, or maybe they keep both, but Cruikshank's probably going to have a bigger role if I had to guess. So I got Hicks at number 9. We'll see if he's ready to go for training camp and can show the Bears something. At number 8 in my Bears rookie rankings breakdown here, I got Trestan Ebner, the running back who got drafted out of Baylor. I think he's a wild card. I think he could move up these rankings as we get into training camp and as the season goes on. This is definitely like a player to watch during preseason because Trestan Ebner can do a little bit of everything. He doesn't do anything great, but he doesn't do anything poor. He does everything fairly well. He can run the football. He's physical. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can return kickoffs. I don't know if you want to use him as a punt returner, but he could probably do that as well. This is a player that should contribute on special teams and maybe give you a little punch out of the backfield as well. Keep an eye on Trestan Ebner. I think he could move up in terms of the rookie impact this year. Will Trestan Ebner have a role in 2022? In terms of outside of the occasional special teams play, will he have a role? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think there's a decent chance he will, but I'm not sure yet. I want to see how much run he gets during training camp. Y for yes, N for no. Will Trestan Ebner have a role in 2022? At number 7, I got Zach Thomas, the offensive lineman, another rookie here. I'm a little higher on him because I think he's a sneaky candidate to start at right guard. He's got some tackle flexibility as well, was a left tackle at San Diego State. Keep an eye on him at training camp. I think there's a chance he could have a role for himself on this football team. At number 6, as we continue with our rookie breakdowns here on Chicago Bears Now, stay with us here. Trenton Gill, the punter. You're probably thinking, why are you ranking the punter number 6? Well, he's going to be involved in every game. You're replacing Pat O'Donnell, who is a league average in punting, but, 16th, 17th in net punt yardage last year, I believe. So you're hoping Gill is at least middle of the pack in the NFL. When you punt the ball, you want it to be executed, and you want to pen defenses back. So he will absolutely have a role and an impact on every single game. Unless the Bears offense scores 50 points a game, which I don't think they're going to. So Trenton Gill at number 6, you could argue it could be higher because he's going to be involved in every game. Before we get to our top 5, here are some honorable mentions, some rookies that could be in the mix here. Chase Allen, the tight end out of Iowa State, big frame. He can run a little bit. Could be a sneaky candidate to make the roster, if not at least the practice squad. Jack Sanborn, who we've talked about quite a bit. I think he's got a real shot of making this roster, the linebacker out of Wisconsin. There's not a proven commodity at that Sam linebacker position, so Jack Sanborn could be in the mix there. And then Carson Taylor, the edge out of Northern Arizona, who really stood out during OTAs and minicamp. We'll see if he scratches the 53-man, but he's definitely a player to watch during training camp. How many undrafted free agents will make the Bears roster? Give me a number. 0, 1, 2, 3. I don't think it'll be more than 3. I would guess 1 or 2. I think Sanborn has a pretty good shot, and Taylor should have a good chance as well, especially if a guy like Robert Quinn does not end up being a part of this team. But predict it for us. How many UDFAs will make the Bears roster? All right, top 5 we go here. Dominique Robinson, the edge out of Miami of Ohio. Trevis Gibson spoke highly of him during OTAs and minicamp, said he's further along than I was as a rookie. Now, take that with a grain of salt because Gibson was inactive for over half the season his rookie year. He just wasn't ready at all. So if Robinson's way ahead of him, that's a good sign. But if he's barely ahead of him, kind of hard to know what that really means. But he's a freak athlete, still converting from receiver, which he played early on in his college career. I think he's got a chance to really be a good player. And I'd like to see him get some run for this team, especially if Quinn's gone. You need Dominique Robinson to give you some snaps. So keep an eye on him. I think he's going to be a fun preseason player. At number 4, Braxton Jones, the offensive tackle. You know, he took the headlines during the last week of OTAs and during minicamp as well by getting the starting left tackle reps for the final 2 weeks. There's a real chance this kid starts. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, time will tell. You know, he has long arms. He's a good athlete. He's mobile. You know, Ryan Poles wants guys that can move around on this offensive line. Do not be surprised if Braxton Jones is a starter for this football team. What do you guys think? If you had to predict, will Braxton Jones start in week 1? Type S for starter, type B for backup. Let me know down in the comments section. Be sure to subscribe on the Callin app. We're actually live on Callin right now, and for those in the caller queue, we'll get to you guys here in just a moment. If you're watching later on YouTube, chatsports.com/BearsCallin. Audio social podcasting app where you guys can call into the show, ask me your Bears questions, and we can chop it up back and forth. So give us a subscription. It's free, chatsports.com/BearsCallin. You can download the Callin app on iOS and Android. All right, top 3 we go. At number 3, I'm going to go Velus Jones Jr. Thought about putting him at 2, but, you know, he's still probably a little bit there's some unknown there exactly what his role is going to be, but I do think the Bears are banking on him producing. They drafted him in the 3rd round. He's the first offensive player that Ryan Poles selected as the GM of the Bears, so obviously they see something there, and you need weapons for Justin Fields, so hopefully Velus Jones can provide that. He should at least find some explosive plays for you. Can he be a consistent receiver? That remains to be seen. Top 2 we go. Kyler Gordon, the cornerback out of Washington. I'm high on this kid. If he can stay healthy and if he proves to be legit, watch out because this secondary, this cornerback room could be really, really good. Jalen Johnson, another year older. He should be solid on the other side. Thomas Kramer, Tavon Young at nickel corner. If Kyler Gordon can do his part and be a clear upgrade from Kendall Vilder, that's a very, very good thing. And then that brings us to the other 2nd-round pick for the Bears, Jaquan Brisker. Safety, I'm really high on this kid. I'm bullish of him. I think he's going to be the Bears' best rookie player. I think there's a chance that by the end of this year, we're looking up and we're like, okay, Jaquan Brisker's a top 5 player on this football team. I think it's very, very possible. He just has a knack for finding the football. He can hit. He can cover. He does it all. He absolutely does it all. The Bears had him as their highest-rated player when they took him on their board, so that worked out really well, and I think he's going to be a stud for this team. What do you guys think? Whether you're listening on Callin or watching on YouTube, let us know in the comments. Who will be the Bears' best rookie this year? Let us know down in the comments.